submodule accounts payable. People who have joined us before will know that this is our 5th session. So any of you who are joining us for the first time, you can always visit our YouTube channel and refer our previous webinars. So today we are covering accounts module and accounts payable module, and our presenter is Mr. Kisara Vikramaratne. He is one of our qualified functional consultant, and he is coming from a very good financial background. So I will hand over the deck to Kisara so he can start the session. Meantime, if you have any questions, please drop us a message or just raise your hand. Then moderator will make sure that your questions will be answered. So Kisara, over to you. You can take over the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dakshila. Sorry. So today's session is about accounts payables, which comes under finance module. So in today's session, we will look at how to create a vendor and purchase quotations, purchase orders. Under that, we'll talk about GRN, how to fully GRN, partial GRN, and over receipts, and invoicing and partial invoicing. So after that, we'll talk about how to create a direct purchase invoice with immediate cash settlements, and then vendor settlements, purchase credit memos. And finally, we will look at reportings which are related to accounts payable. Okay, so according to today's agenda, first, let's look how to create a new vendor in Business Central. Okay, to create a new vendor in Business Central, you need to go to the vendor list. To go to the vendor list, you have like two options. The first one is simply you can go to this purchasing button and click this vendors button. Then you can go to vendors list. Apart from that, you can also use the search icon as well. If you click the search icon and type the word as vendors, in here also you can find the vendor list. Okay, so in that both days you can go to the vendor list. Okay, after you have come to the vendor list, to create a new vendor, you need to click this new button. Okay, so as soon as I click that button, you can see the system is asking me to select a template for a new vendor. So these are the templates that I have predefined. So let me explain to you what is the purpose of this template. So this is the template card. You can see there are several data fields that you can enter your data here. So in here, I would highlight this section, which is the posting details section. So here is where that you define like posting groups of this vendor. So it means through this general business posting group, you can define like what should be the expense accounts that should hit in your income statements when you are dealing with when you're posting transactions to this particular vendor. So through this VAT business posting group, you can define what should be the accounts payables and receivables accounts in balance sheet, which should be hit. And in here, when the posting group, through this, you can define what should be the liability account that should be hit in balance sheet when you are posting transactions to this particular vendor. So that is the purpose of this posting groups. So I hope it's clear to you. And apart from posting details, you can define like payment terms, payment methods, currency codes, like some of these data in this template. So I'll change the payment terms to like 30 days. And I'll change the payment method to, let's say, check. Okay. So this is my template. I have predefined my template and some of the data. So now I'm going to create a new vendor using this particular template. Okay, I'm going to say okay here. Okay, so now you can see I have created a new vendor. So this is the vendor number. we can automate this, or if you need, you can enter this manually. So first, when you create a new vendor card, first thing you should enter a name. Okay. In my case, I'll enter the vendor name as officer. Okay, so I have entered the name. So this is the vendor card. So I'll explain some of the important fields and features that you have in this vendor card. Okay. The first one is this blocking options. So in this blocking options, you have two block options. The first one is payment and payment block and all block. So in this payment block means if you want to block only the payments to this particular vendor, you can set this blocked option as payment. Apart from that, if you want to block the payment and also with the payments, if you want to block like creating a purchase quotation or purchase orders for this vendor, you can define this blocked option as all. So this is the purpose of this blocking option. And apart from that, here you can define a purchaser code, a purchaser, which means the employee who is working in our company and who is going to do the dealings with this vendor. So this will be an employee in our company. So I'll select Bart as my purchaser. Okay, this will mainly be the purchasing manager. Okay, in here you can enter your address, the vendor address. So I'll just enter address here. In this city, you can predefine your postal codes and cities in this postcode table. So, okay, I select the city as Rajgir. Okay. In here, in this primary contact code, you can define the person who is working in the vendor's company and who are who who deals with us. So this is like the opposite of purchaser. So here we define the person who works in vendor's company. Okay. So in invoicing tab, here you can define VAT registration number if you have one. So here you can see like these posting groups and these payment terms and payment method codes. These data have already are here. So this data have directly came from the template. So if you remember, I have I have defined these data in the template. So when I create a new vendor card using that template, these details will be automatically filled. So if you if you define the data in your templates like fully, you don't have much to fill in here. In this receiving tab also, in this location you can define a location if there is any default location that every time when this vendor is sending us inventory, like every time he's sending us inventory to same location, you can define that in here. So I have selected my location as blue. Okay, so this is all about the vendor card. So let's move on and let's see how to create a purchase quotation using this vendor. Okay, to create a new purchase quotation, you should click this. First, you should go to the purchase quotation list. To do that, you can find here as purchase quotation. Then it will show you the purchase quotation list. Okay. So this is our purchase quotation list. So currently it is empty. So we are going to create a new one. Okay. So this is the interface of a purchase quotation. So initially, first you need to enter your vendor. So I'll insert my vendor. So you can see as soon as we selected the vendor, these addresses, country region, these payment terms, these locations, uh, these all the data will come from the vendor card. So every time when you are creating a purchase quotation, you don't need to manually enter everything. Most of the data will come from the vendor card. So I'm not going to explain these fields because it's pretty much same from the vendor card. Okay, so let's add some lines to this purchase quotation. Okay, so when we are going to add lines to this purchase quotation, you can see there are several types that you can use, but mainly we are going to use this item and GL account type. We will use item for inventory to buy to purchase inventories, and we will use GL account to purchase services. Okay, so I'll add like two items. So the sample company is a food cycle accessory selling company. So this item master is created relating to that. So let's say I'll purchase a handle. 10 this. Okay. So you can see this location will be automatically loaded because I have defined that in the vendor card. So every time you don't need to manually select the location. And the direct cost, this direct unit cost will be also loaded. Like the last purchase price will be automatically loaded here. But in here I have taken these fresh items. These are fresh items. So these items doesn't have any previous like last purchase price, so that's why it's not loading. So if you have a previously last purchase price, it will automatically load it. So I will just manually enter the unit cost. Let's say 200, 350. So this is how you enter the lines to your purchase quotation. So in here you can see what is the total, what is the VAT, subtotal, all that. So now I'm going to show you some features that you have in the purchase quotation. The first one is discounts. So in Business Central, you have two types of discounts. The first one is this line discount, and the second one is this invoice discount. Okay, so we are losing line discount to give discounts to like any particular for particular item. Let's say I only want to give a discount for these handles. So for that purpose, I'm going to use this line discount. Let's say 10%. I'm going to give discount to these handles. So I'm using this line discount column. So so we are using this invoice discount for like say I want to give an discount for this whole purchase quotation. So to handle that kind of a scenario, you are going to need to use this invoice discount field. So if I want to give 5% discounts to this whole purchase quotation, I just enter the invoice discount as 5. So this will represent the value of this 5%. So 5% from 7,050 is 352 and 50 cents. Okay. So in this way, you can handle your discounts to business centrals either by using line discount or invoice discount. Okay, to avoid complexities, I'll just remove this 5%. Let's proceed with this 10. Okay. Okay, the second one that I'm going to show you is archiving options. So let's say that every time when you are creating a purchase quotations, let's say that you are having number of revisions for this purchase quotation. So if you need to track those revisions, like if you want to know what was the line and what was the data you had in previous versions, you have this option called archive documents. So this simply means like save options. So let's say I have a revision to make to this particular quotation. So I'm going to first archive this document. Okay, so it's asking us for a confirmation. So I'll say yes. Okay, after archiving, I can just change the quantity. Let's say the quantity has changed to 12. Okay, so if you want to like add line discount to this revised quantity, you need to add that again. Okay, so in that after I archived that document, you can see in here it says number of archived version is 1. So if I click this, you can see what is the archived version. So if you go to related this line and card, you can see what was the previous version. In previous version, we had 10 quantities. So in current document, we are having 12 quantities. So likewise, you can track the previous version of this same document through that archive function. Okay. That the other feature that I want to show you is the approval function. The standard Dynamics 365 Business Central offers you the request like approval workflow for these purchase quotation code documents. So currently I haven't set it up. So because if I click that send to approval button, it will show me the message that no approval workflow this enables. So if you have enabled this feature, only approved sales quotations can be converted to purchase quotation can be converted to purchase orders. Okay. So that is what I want to mainly talk about the purchase quotation. So let's assume now our management have agreed to this purchase quotation, and now we are converting this purchase quotation to a purchase order. Okay, to convert purchase quotation to purchase order, you need to go to this processes and then click this make code button. Now, so it's asking us for a confirmation. I'm going to say yes. Then it's showing us a message the code has been converted to order number. This is order number, and then it's saying, do you want to open the new order? For the moment, I'll say no. Okay. So I wanted to show you. So as soon as we converted the purchase order to an order, you can see this purchase quotation will be removed from this current purchase quotation list. Okay, still, if you need to look at that, you can find that in archive documents. So you have the access to that, but currently from this current purchase quotations list, it will be removed. Okay. So now let's go to say purchase order list and find out whether what happened to our purchase quotation. So to go to purchase order list, you need to find type as purchase order. So in here you can find the purchase order list. So this is the current purchase order list. So in here you can find your converted purchase order. Okay, so this is our purchase order. In here you can find the quotation number. So if you want to refer the quotation for some reason, you can go to archive documents and take this document number. So in here, you need to first define the invoice number. I'll just enter some number. Okay. So in this purchase order, you have some fields which are specific to purchase order. So you have this quote number and all that. So I'm not going to talk about that. What I want to talk about is this prepayment options. So as soon as you converted your purchase quotation to the purchase order, this prepayment function will be enabled. So if you can remember, we didn't have prepayment function on purchase quotations. So as soon as we converted that to purchase order, you have these prepayment options. So in here you can handle your prepayment. Okay. Okay. So let's see how we are going to post our GRNs through this purchase order. Okay. To post your GRNs, there are two important columns, which is this quantity column and this quantity to receive column. Okay, let's forget this second line. Let's only consider this first line, which is the handles. Okay. Now let's say now our vendor is sending us initially 7 handles. Let's say vendor is sending us initially 7 handles to us. So after that arrived at our company, we need to GRN, right? To GRN, in here you need to enter what you exactly receive. So in my case, I have received first 7 handles. So to post this 7, you need to go to this posting button, then go post. When you're posting, you need to select the posting option as receive. So we are only receiving at this moment. Okay. Now, as you can see, can you see this? This 7 has moved from quantity to receive column, from quantity to receive column to quantity received column. So it means we have now received 7. So because of we have received, now you can continue with the process. If you are a manufacturing company or reselling company, you can process, you can use that goods to further processes. Okay. So now these columns are automatically updated with quantity to receive. Okay. For this example also, I'll just erase this second line. Okay. In here also now let's say after week go 2, we are receiving that the second shipment. To post that also, you need to go to posting and select post. In here also, you need to select the option as receive. Okay, now you can see this quantity to receive column is blank. So that means we have fully received the total quantity of the purchase order. So this if this is blank means, and you can see this quantity and quantity received column is equal 12. Okay. In this line, let's say, so this is I want you guys to explain how to post and over receive. In here, you can say the original quantity is 15, and let's say somehow vendor is sending us 16 these bushes, rubber bushes. Okay, in that to handle that kind of scenario, you need to enter this quantity to receive column as 16. Let's say he's sending us 60. So as soon as we enter the 16, you can see you can see a pop-up. It says, and over received quantities recorded on purchase order number. So this is the purchase order number. So it's showing us a message because the original quantity was 15 and now we are GRN 60. So if you move along this line, you can see in here it says that in this over received quantity column, it says this as 1. For the previous line, it says over received quantity is 0. For our the second line, it says over received quantity is 1. Okay, so that's how you can handle your over receipts. So in here, if you want to keep track of your old like initial original PO, you can always use that archive option, which I have showed you in sales quotation. That same option available in here also. If you go to action functions and functions, you can find this archive document, this option in this purchase order as well. Okay, so I'm going to post this over receipt. Okay. Now we have fully received what vendor has sent us. Okay, now you see this quantity to receive column is empty, and this quantity and quantity received column is equal. So now we need to invoice that. Okay, so in invoicing also you can do it like partially or fully. So first let's see how to do partial invoice. So first we have received 7 in first shipment we have received 7 of these handles. So let's say I'm going to invoice first I'm going to invoice that 7. In this in here also it's like same as before. So if you want to invoice 7, you need to enter the quantity to invoice column as 7. So for the moment I'll erase this. Okay. And column, and you can just go and post it. So when you're posting now here, now because you're going to invoice, you need to select this posting option as invoice, not receive. You need to select this as invoice and say OK. Okay. So now you can see like previously these two columns have updated. This quantity invoice column has updated, and you can see the balance amount in quantity to invoice column. Okay. So I'll invoice this 5 as well. Okay, in the here the thing you need to understand is when you are partially invoicing, you need to give uh, invoice numbers for each and every invoice. So my first invoice number, it will be this. So this will be the document number for my first invoice. So now I'm going to generate a second invoice for this purchase order. I need to give a separate number for that. So I'll give invoice number as 2. Okay. So it is this line, and I'll only now I'm only considering about this first line. So I'm going to post that. Okay. Now you can see this first line is we have already received and we have fully received it and fully invoiced it. Okay. So now let's see like how you can see what are the previously posted receipts and invoices which led to this purchase order. Okay. You can see that by going to this navigate, if you click this navigate button, in here you can find there are 2 buttons called receipts and invoices. If you click this receipts button, you can find what are the previous shipments that we had for this particular purchase order. So you can see for this purchase order, we have had 3 shipments. So let me quickly show you one. So if I go to this this first shipment, sorry, this is not the first one. Yeah, so this is the first one. If we go to our first shipment, you can see we have first received 7 handles. So likewise, you can see what are the shipments that we have we have had for this purchase order. So if you go to navigate and click this invoices button, you can see what are the posted invoices, like what are the posted invoices uh, for this purchase order. So in here also you can go to these invoices and see what are the data, what are the invoices that we have posted. So I hope it's clear. So now I only have to post. I only need to post this 1616 to fully complete this order. Okay, so I'm going to post it. Okay, to post that, I'm going to posting, then post. Sorry, I need to change the document number. So it will be, it is giving me the error because you can't post it to the same document number. You need to change the document number. Okay. Now it will ask us this document at posted. Do you want to open the posted invoice? For the moment, I'll say no. And let me show you. Can you see now we have fully received an invoice that invoice that because of that now that purchase order will be removed from our current purchase order list. Now you can see we can't find our purchase order because we have fully received an invoice sheet. So that's what I wanted to show. Okay, so that is all about partial GRN, partial invoicing and over receipts. So let's move on with our agenda. The next topic is how to create a purchase invoice with the immediate cash settlement. Okay, so in this scenario, let's think now we are buying a service from a vendor. So to handle that type of scenario, you need to go to, you can also handle that with purchase orders, but you can easily handle service purchases through purchase invoices. So I'll go to purchase invoices. So in here, we currently don't have any purchase invoices, so I'll just create a new one. Okay. In here also, when you're creating a service invoice, first you need to enter your vendor. So my vendor is observed. Okay, you can enter the vendor invoice number. So this red star means it's mandatory. So you can't post anything if you haven't filled, if you are not going to fill this field. Okay, so as I said before, we are going to purchase a service. So I need to change the type as a GL account. So if you remember, I said previously, if you are going to deal with services, we need to use the type as GL account. Okay, I'm using, let's say we are buying like cleaning service. So I'll select my cleaning expense account. Okay, so this location is not mandatory here, but you should enter a quantity. You should enter the quantity as 1. Unit of measure also not that important. So you need to, in here, you need to enter the amount. So let's say 2000 rupees. Okay. Now, so we are not, so in this case, we are not going to invoice this. So we are going to pay for this vendor immediately. Like when we are posting this purchase invoice, our bank, we are going to pay him. Okay. So to handle that, you need to change this payment method. Okay, so let me show you this payment method table. So this is our payment method. So we have predefined several payment methods here. Okay, in this table, you can see there is a two columns called balance account type and balance account number. It means balance account type and balance account number. So in here, you can see in this payment method, this guide to payment method. If you consider this, you can see this balance account type is I have defined it as bank account, and in this balance account number column, I have selected my bank. Okay, this guide, this is my bank account name guide. So for this particular transaction, I'm going to change my payment method to this. So previously my payment, I have selected my payment method as check. Now for this particular transaction, I have changed this payment method to guide because I have linked my bank account to this payment method. So when we are going to post this, so let me show you by posting. If I post this, so it's asking us to do you want to open the posted invoice? I'll say no. So if I post this and let me show you what has happened in the bank account. Okay, to go to bank accounts, you just need to type the bank account in this search icon. In here, you can find the bank account list. So in here, you can this is the bank account that I have used for that purchase invoice. So if I go to this bank account and click this balance, okay, you can see for the today's date, today is 9 September. For today's day, can you see that this bank account has credited the 2000 amount? So it means as soon as we posted that purchase invoice, uh, it has credited our bank account. So this is how we handle immediate cash settlements, like yes, immediate cash basis transactions in the Dynamics 365 Business Central. So I hope you understand that. So that transaction will be debited to our expenses and credited to our bank account. Okay. So let's see about vendor settlements. So to do the vendor settlements in Business Central, first you need to go to payment journal. You can type the payment journal here. Okay, in this task, you can see this payment journal task. So it comes as a task. Okay. The first thing I want to explain here is this batch name, like the badges. In this payment journal, you can have any number of badges. The importance of having a batch is you can in here also you can see these columns as this column balance account type and balance account number, balance account type and balance account number. So in here, let's say if you consider this Cairo batch, in this Cairo batch, I have already predefined the balance account type as bank account, balance account type as bank account, and balance account number as my bank account card. So if I say OK, you can see in this batch, this in here this balance account type and balance account number has automatically filled. So if you can't define like that, like let's say if you can't define that in the batch, you will have to manually enter the what is the bank account that you're going to pay this customer with. So every time when you are doing a payment, you will have to define that. If you can define that in the batch, so you can simply just select the batch that you want to do the payment, and that batch will that setting will automatically fill these columns for you. Okay, so uh, I'm going to do a payment for this for vendor. So our vendor is soft serve. You need to enter that here. Okay. To do payments, after selecting the vendor, in here you can enter if you have. Yeah, we are using like most of the time we are putting check number here. So I'll just enter some number. You need to go to this process. You need to click this process button and select apply entries. So when you select that apply entries button, you can see all the unpaid invoices for this particular vendor. Okay, so currently we have 3 invoices for this vendor. Okay, these are the 3 invoices. So in here, you have 3 options that you can handle your payments. The first one is fully paying, like fully settling a single invoice. Okay, let's say I am fully settling this invoice, this 37 invoice, I'm fully settled. Okay, so if I'm going to fully settle this, you need to go to this process and click this button, set applies to IT, and say okay. So after I uh, after selecting OK, you can see that amount is automatically come here. This amount has automatically come here. Okay, so that is the first option. And fully settling a single limit. Okay, I have cleared that. The second option is fully settling one or more invoices. Let's say in this single payment, I'm going to settle both of these first and second invoices. Okay, to do that, I need to click the set applies to ID for that first invoice, and also after after selecting this second line, uh, I need to follow that same thing. I have to click set applies to ID to for this line too. Okay, as you can see. So now you can see this invoice worth 1,400. This invoice worth 1,000. So when I say OK, you can see this amount has updated as 2,400, which is the total of that both invoices. So that is how you can uh, pay 2 or more invoices at once. And the third option I want to show you is how to do a partial payment. Yeah, I'll clear this. To do a partial payment, let's say I'm going to do a partial payment for this invoice. For that also, first you need to go to process and click the set up as to ID. Then, when you move along with the line, uh, in here you have the remaining amount, and here you have a column say amount to apply. So in this invoice is fully worth 1,400. Let's say for the moment, I'm only paying 500 500 rupees for this particular invoice. Okay, so if that you need to enter the partial amount that you're paying here manually. So I'm paying only 500 rupees for this 1,400 invoice. So now you can see this amount has updated as 500. 500. Okay, so those are the three options that I wanted you to show in the payment channel. So I hope you had a proper understanding about how to do a partial and fully payment in Business Central. So let me just post this. In here also we have standard approval process. So in here also I haven't set it up. So if you can set your approval process and only approved payments, you can post only approved payments. These approvals and all that will be explained in our future webinars. So, okay. So now I have posted my payment, my partial payment. So let's go to a vendor and see what has happened in the vendor ledger entries. So let me first go to my vendor card. Okay, so if I go to my vendor card, so if you can't find your vendor here, you can just quickly search. So this is my vendor. Okay. Okay, so my this vendor's current balance is 7,500. Okay, so these are the invoices that these are the open invoices that we have for this vendor. So in here, you can see this original amount means the original amount of the invoice. And here the remaining amount is the remaining balance that we need to pay. So I made my partial payment for this invoice. So for this invoice, you can see the original amount is 1,400 and remaining amount is 900,000. Sorry, 900. So you can see that that 500 has deducted for this invoice. So if you have fully, like let's say if you have fully paid this invoice, this line will be removed from this removed from this open invoices page. So still, if you want to look at those payments, you need to click this filter button and remove this open filter. So if you remove this open filter, you can see what are the previous fully settled previous fully settled invoices you can find if you remove this open filter. Okay. Okay, so that is all about how to settling a vendor. So we have covered the payment channel. Now let's move on to how to create a credit memo. Okay. For credit memo, for credit memos, you have in here also you have two options. The first one is you can just go to search icon and search as purchase credit memos. Okay, so this is the current purchase credit memo list. So currently we have none. So I'm going to create a new one. Okay, in here also first you need to enter your vendor. And the vendor credit memo number. So in here also you have two options. You can either manually add items that you are returning, or you can call those items through the posted purchase invoices. So I hope you can understand how to enter item manually here. So I'm going to explain you how to call items from posted purchase invoices. Okay, to do that, you need to go to this process button and click this get posted document lines to reverse. Okay, so after clicking that, you can see what are the what are the posted invoices that you have for this particular customer. See what posted person documents for this software vendor. Software vendor, sorry. So let's say I am returning this. So I'm going to click that. Okay. So this is how you call item lines from a posted purchase invoice. So this is the one method that you can handle your credit memos. In here you can edit like edit the quantity that you're returning. So this we have invoice 7 quantities. Let's say out of this 7 we are only returning 1. So you need to edit the quantity as 1 and you can post it. The second method that you can create a credit memo is you can go to posted purchase invoices. So you don't need to call posted purchase invoices. In this method, you directly go to the posted purchase invoice. Okay, in here you can find all the posted purchase invoices for this customer, and by here in here you have this feature. In this correct, it comes under this correct function. So under this correct function, you can have this button called create corrective credit memo. So if you click that, it will automatically create a purchase credit memo. So this is how you can create purchase credits memo. You can either directly go to purchase credit memos and get a new document and create a call posted items, or you can go to directly to posted purchase invoice and create a corrective credit memo. Okay, so now let's move to reports, which is related to accounts payable. So, let me show you. These are the all the reports that you have in Business Central, which is related to accounts payable. So you can have all these reports. So for the moment, I'll just show you one or two. First, I'm going to show you this age accounts payable report. So in this report, you have some of the options. So let me change some of that. Okay, so in here you can define the period length. So I've set it as 1 month, and I'll tick this like print the amount in LCY. So if I preview this, so I filter it to our software vendor. So you can see this. You can have an idea about like what is the balance that you need to pay for this vendor and a time period, like right, aging of that balance. Okay, so currently you can see this we need this 7,500. So it's we need to pay that during this month. So if you tick this this tick, it say print details. If I get this report by clicking this button, like you can see how this balance has created. So in previous report, it only showed us the 7,500. So when you are previewing this report with print details option, you can see how this 7,500 has created. So it has created with 3 invoices. So likewise, you can have a detailed information about this report if you if you tick that detail button. Okay. So let me show you another report. Yes, the other report that I'm going to show you is this vendor item purchases report. Okay, with this report, you can identify what are the items that we have bought from this vendor. Okay, in here you have the vendor, American Food Exports, and in here you can see what are the items that you have bought and value of them. So I hope you can understand. It's a very simple report. Okay, so this will be the end of this session. So I would like to hand over the session to Takshita. Thank you very much.
Yeah, any of our attendees, if you have any questions, please raise your hand, or you can just put it type it on the chat. We have I think we have gone the time that we have scheduled, but anyway, you can just raise your hand or just type in your message now. Meantime, our moderator will share a link the same way that on the chat message for you to give your feedback on the today's session. So if you have felt that any points have been missed, or if you want to add any future modules, if you're interested in, just let us know through the chat. Then we'll consider that for our upcoming webinars. And our next webinar would be on fixed asset module, I assume, but we will keep you updated on via mail by next week. So no questions. So let's conclude our session then. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. So we hope that you will join us.
There's a one question in the chat box.
Okay, hold on. Can we select the currency when we create a vendor? Kisarath?
Yes, you can select currency. You can like
show
local. Okay. Sorry, creating a vendor purchase order.
Currency when we create a vendor.
Yes, you can in here when you are creating a new vendor. The currency you can either define it in the template. If you define it in the template, that currency will automatically come to the vendor card. If you can't define it in the template, after when you are creating the vendor, in here under this invoicing tag, here you can define the currency code. So if it's a local currency, let's say this is let's say the local currency is Sri Lankan rupees. So in that case, you don't need to define it because we are treating blank as a local currency. So if the currency is differs from the local currency like USD or AUD, anything you can define and mention it, define it.
Hope that answers your question, Kasum. Any questions, guys? Okay. So I think we can conclude the session now. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining in today. So we'll keep you posted on the upcoming webinars as well. Do join us, and please share your thoughts on the survey link as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.